6 minutes.
Thank you, Deputy Presiding Officer. As a member of the Rural Affairs, Islands and Natural Environment Committee, let me begin by thanking the convener and the deputy convener for their facilitation of a robust series of scrutiny sessions of the Hunting with Dogs Scotland Bill, and to the committee clerks for their detailed and thorough work throughout. I think it's fair to say that we knew from the outset that the bill would stimulate lively debate, and I believe our Stage 1 report reflects the diversity of views that we heard. Representing a large rural area as I do in the North East, I recognise that there are differing views as to whether the measures in this bill are proportionate in terms of their impact on the rural sector and if they go far enough in strengthening wildlife protection. Nevertheless, the principles of this bill are to be welcomed, which is why Scottish Labour will be backing it at Stage 1 today. As a party, we have long been committed to strengthening wildlife protection law and to truly ending the practice of fox hunting in Scotland. This legislation marks a welcome step forward in this regard, and it's a testament to animal welfare campaigning organisations such as the League Against Cruel Sports, One Kind and Scottish Badgers, who have helped to secure some of the positive changes included in this bill. However, there are a number of limitations in the bill as drafted, which we would hope to see amended at Stage 2. No interventions. The Scottish Government has been clear that this bill seeks to address inconsistencies and ambiguities in the language contained in the 2002 Act, which often undermined attempts to investigate and prosecute alleged offences. Yet, as has been highlighted by the Law Society of Scotland, ambiguities remain in the bill as drafted. As well as a lack of clarity around certain definitions and acts described in the bill, the Law Society of Scotland also identifies the importance of clarifying language to improve both understanding and enforcement. They make a number of suggestions, such as clarifying what is meant by invasive non-native species by providing a list of common names of such species to be included in the bill. I would urge the Scottish Government to address some of the ambiguous language currently in the bill to strengthen understanding, interpretation and enforcement. And given that the Scottish Government's stated aim for the bill is to achieve the highest possible animal welfare standards, it's also clear that the proposal to allow even one dog below ground undermines this. Animal welfare organisations highlighted to the committee the difficulties in controlling a dog below ground, increasing the likelihood of conflict between a dog and a wild mammal as a result. Such conflicts pose serious welfare risks to both animals. The Scottish Government has acknowledged the view that such practice is incompatible with the highest standards of animal welfare and has not sought to refute this, yet has chosen to retain the exception in the bill for the use of one dog underground. The Scottish Government refers to this as balance, but the Minister cannot have it both ways. She cannot compromise on cruelty in the same bill she claims will achieve the highest standards of animal welfare. No intervention. I also agree with animal welfare organisations who question why the bill permits the use of birds as a method of killing. It's not credible for the Scottish Government to suggest that the killing of an animal by a bird of prey rather than a dog is better from an animal welfare perspective. The Scottish Animal Welfare Commission told the committee in its evidence that, and I quote, "The impact on the welfare of the hunted animal is likely to be similar whether killed by a dog or by a bird of prey." And while the bill will strengthen fox hunting laws, it will also introduce a licensing scheme which will allow hunting to continue in some circumstances. Under the proposed licensing scheme, packs of dogs could still be used. As a result, these packs of dogs would be exempt from the proposed two-dog limit. It's evidently a loophole which could be exploited by those looking to get around the rules and continue with hunts. Deputy Presiding Officer, as I've already stated, I welcome the principles underpinning the bill of strengthening wildlife protection and animal welfare. But the bill evidently needs further changes to strengthen it, including addressing the ambiguity of some of the language used in it, which could undermine both interpretation and enforcement. As the bill also fails to end the use of any dogs below ground, there continues to be welfare risks for both dogs and wild mammals. And the bill should not permit the use of birds of prey as a method of killing. The proposed licensing scheme also has an inherent loophole which could be exploited by those looking to continue hunts. If the Scottish Government is unwilling to make the changes needed to this bill, Scottish Labour will introduce amendments ahead of Stage 2, because failure to make these changes risks wasting the opportunity provided by this bill to deliver real and lasting changes to wildlife protection and animal welfare in Scotland.